Business with a servant's heart. Welcome to the podcast. Inspiration, motivation takes. Listen to the podcast. We're all about to talk about life. Our guests will share their life story. We want you to success in life and business. We're ready and we will start shortly. We're gonna talk about life. We're going to speak on business. You're gonna shine bright. We are going to witness. Business with a servant's heart. With hosts Steve, Ramona, and Ray. Inspiration, education talks. Listen to the podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart podcast. I'm your host, Steve Ramona. I am fired up to have you join us today. Digital marketing is needed, especially in the services, the trades. We're going to dive into that in such a cool way. Talk to my guests for about 10 minutes, 5 minutes or so, and you're going to learn a lot today. Because we dedicated this podcast to bring a guest on like this to show us how servant heart can make an impact for you. Well, you go out to your world and make that impact and difference. How cool is that? And then also, too, they're going to motivate you, inspire you, and educate you. So you could take those resources, again, make that impact. Here's your homework today, audience. What you think about, you're going to serve yourself and serve others today. The key word is today. Make that impact today. It doesn't have to be $1 million to your church. It could be, hey, here's a resource I found. Check it out. I think it'll work for you. That's all serving. It comes in different foods. Just find the food that's comfortable for you. I've never said that before. That sounds kind of cool.
That sounded great. That sounded great.
Thank you, Phil.
Yeah.
You gave me a good quote we're going to use as well today. Today's episode is sponsored by Pantheon. Imagine being part of a community of world-changing thought leaders and experts who are bringing you on to help you grow as well and help you make an impact. So for more information on Pantheon, just reach out to me and I'll get you all the links. Impact, difference, change. Power. It's needed more today than ever with tariffs and political and all the stuff going on in the world. We need to change and impact people. Well, today's my guest is going to show you how he does it in such a great way. Let's welcome Phil to the show. Phil, welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Steve. Really excited to talk.
I got to bring this quote up because you really rocked my world with it. Give the recipe, sell the cooking. Dive into that.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been my philosophy as far as creating content and helping people. A lot of times when I first started, I remember I started a YouTube channel and I was telling my dad, like, hey, I'm going to give away this. I started as a personal finance blogger. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to give away this free budget and I'm going to share this stuff. My dad's like, oh, no, you should really sell that. And I'm like, well, if I sell it, what, for like $5, then like, who's going to pay $5 for this? And at the end of the day, it's like, if I can give the recipe of how to do something, and if you want me to do it for you, great. I'll cook up a nice dinner for you, or you can try it yourself and take a shot at it. And either way, we're all going to be winning and learn something out of this.
I love that. And that's what a servant heart does. You give out everything. And if you want to help, get help and you reach out. Flash Consulting. Where'd that name come from? It's so cool. I've been saying it before the show a number of times because it just runs.
Yeah, so the way I actually got into this, my former employer was a $3 million home service business. And I started working there. In the first year, he went from 3 million to 4 million in revenue, 300,000 to 900,000 in profit. And a lot of it was because of the marketing, not the traditional stuff, but all the other stuff that I implemented that now I help other companies. Well, after about 10 months, I was pushing for growth. And he's like, dude, I'm making $1 million. Like, we're good. And he fired me. He said, Phil, you need to go help other businesses and I'll be your first client. Call the company Flash Consulting and go help people because my name is Phil and my wife's name is Ashley and I call her Ash. So he put Phil and Ash together and said, Flash Consulting, go help all these people and do the same thing that you did for me, for them.
It's the power of the network right there.
Yeah.
That is such a cool story. That's why we treat people right and build that network. Let's dive into the nitty-gritty about all this. Data is gold. Bitcoin, all data is huge. You have data-driven digital marketing. Talk about that and how you do it differently.
That's right. Yeah. So when I was working at this home service business, we were working with these cookie cutter digital marketing companies and we get on calls and they say, you know, your cost per click is this. We got you this many leads from your Google ads, this many impressions, this many like blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, well, what was the return? Like, who are these customers that you're talking about? We spent $1,000, we should make $10,000 or whatever. Like, what are these numbers? And they would say, oh, well, you got to figure that out. It's in your CRM. You got to put this stuff together. So I'm like, okay, there's a return on ad spend and reporting problem for most home service businesses. And what I found was that when we figured out those numbers, it was very easy to grow the business. We knew that our Google search ads was performing this, and our Google local service ads was performing like this, and our Yelp ads was like this, and our B2B partnership was like this. So now we can make smart decisions on getting new customers. So the first thing is good data, good decisions. We need to have everything flow together. And most digital marketing companies are not using CRM data. They're just using the data inside of the search ads or whatever. They're not tying it all together in a pretty bow.
Talk about that. That's unique and different, which there's a lot of digital marketers out there, but makes you different. Talk about dive a little deeper in the CRM and how you use that data.
Yeah, so inside of the CRM, when I was at the home service business, most home service businesses are not looking at these reports. The first one is a new customer report. You need to see every single month how many new customers you're bringing in because you don't want just returning customers to come back in. If you're paying for marketing, specifically getting new customers, you need to know how many new customers that you have because then you can figure out what your customer acquisition cost is. I spent $10,000 on ads and marketing. That's generated. Because just because you get leads, okay, who knows about if the leads are good or not. But if you're increasing your estimate count, that's a really good telltale sign that you're going to grow your business. Because if you get more estimates and you have a good close problem, then you're probably going to close more deals.
Okay, you froze for a minute there,
Yeah.
which we'll take care of that.
Yeah.
So
No
customer
worries.
acquisition cost, no worries. It's Shark Tank. That's one of the questions they ask all the time, and it's a powerful tool. I guess a lot of, especially small business, aren't touching.
That's right. Yeah. When we look at new customer acquisition costs, it's like, this is how many new customers I had in my CRM. This is how much I spent on marketing. So now I know my new customer acquisition cost, and I can just do more of that, whether it's Google Ads, LSAs, Yelp, whatever. The biggest unlock I would say for most home service businesses is that majority of their time is spent on just trying to get new leads in the door when they miss out on two other huge parts of a good customer journey. There's new customers, there's conversions, which is lead to sale process, and then there's retargeting your past customers and prospects to bring them back into your funnel and cross-sell services. Once we unlock those three pillars, that's when they had this huge growth in 1 year. And most of the companies we work with, they implement those three things and it's off to the races.
Wow, it sounds so simple, but it's not.
No.
What's the, is this something somebody could do themselves if they really wanted to?
Yeah, for sure. So like with visibility, it's all about SEO, creating content online, going to where your customers are at, running ads correctly, building B2B partnerships with complementary services that can refer you business. Inside of your conversion funnel, it's like when a lead reaches out, what does your lead management plan look like? Do you have a text, email, nurture sequence, or are you just getting one call and they don't answer and then it's gone forever? When you send an estimate, what's your estimate nurture sequence look like to follow up on your estimates? Then every single month, you should be sending out an email newsletter to all your prospects and customers, cross-selling services, educating them on other things that you do, and then texting them 2 times per year to bring them back into your funnel. If you do those things, you have a great marketing game plan and a good customer journey.
There you go. But I'm going to hire Phil. That way I have to recreate the wheel.
Yeah.
Right?
So what ended up happening is that $3 million went to 4 million in revenue. And there's this uh thing in the home service space, and I would say most businesses, when you hit $1 million, the hustler has to die and the leader has to be born. Because you have to start working through people and building processes and systems in your business. So could you figure it out and build the thing yourself? Sure. But you need to start asking who, not how. And when you start asking who, not how, now you start plugging experts in at a fraction of the cost of hiring full-time people, which helps you scale to 10 million. And then you can start leveraging in full-time people. And that's why you could do it yourself, or you can ask who, not how, and buy back your time and start actually growing your business by bringing in experts at a fraction of a cost. And that's where my company fits in.
You're a genius. That's $1 million tip right there. It really is. I mean, your time is valuable. It's as much as money. Now, I know why, but tell the audience, why did you decide trades and services to be your niche client base?
Yeah, so this kind of goes back. I didn't know this at the time. My dad is actually a pest control service manager. So he was a pest control technician all growing up, my entire life, pest control. So like he'd be out working around on Saturdays, night shift, like all the stuff. On Take Your Child to Work Day, I literally rode in his truck and ran routes with him. When I went to college, I came out and I was working at Enterprise Rent-A-Car in their management trainee program, running a local service business, getting paid directly off the bottom line. And I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and Robert Kiyosaki said that the number one skill you can learn is how to sell. So I went into corporate sales at Enterprise, selling fleet management services to home service businesses. So I knew when I sat down with these guys, I'm like, these guys are just like my dad. Like I can literally sit here and talk to them because it's just like talking to my dad. And it was very easy for me to get along with them. Then when I went to work at the air duct cleaning company, it was like all my worlds collided. I had run a local service business that was 1 to 3 million. It got paid off the bottom line. So I knew through their management trainee program how to execute the day to day. I had built a blog. I was featured on Forbes, CNBC, all this stuff. I had 30, 40,000 people to my website. So I knew digital marketing and I knew home service. So it was like a perfect storm of my skill set to help these companies grow.
Powerful. And audience, the lesson there is your expertise is your passion. Not
That's
always,
right.
but it makes it much easier instead of relearning that. I don't know about the trades. I'd have to learn the whole thing. Which
That's
not
right.
saying you shouldn't, but your journey's a little shorter than most because you've had that experience.
That's right. And I would say, as far as like stacking my skill set, so when I started this blog, it was about personal finance and I paid off student loans and this other stuff. And I got featured in these things. I didn't know anything about digital marketing. So I built my own website. I did email newsletters. I learned SEO. I learned social media. And for 4 years, I did that blog and I made $0. So every single week, I was producing 3 blog posts over 1,000 words with no chat GPT. This was before all this stuff. So I was doing the work, learning these things with $0. Then I was put in a position where all my skill sets could come together. And now I could actually make a business out of this. So to your point, you never know what you're doing or how it can stack together. But when you get in that opportunity, it's like, wow, all this makes sense.
Yeah. And the elephant in the room is technology. How is the marriage of technology with what you do important?
Yeah, well, now, with AI and technology, there's really two components from a marketing perspective. There's the first one, which is search. How is AI search going to affect people? Are they going to Google? Are they not going to Google? A report from Bright Local, which is one of the top local SEO companies, says right now it's still around like 70, 80% of searches for local service businesses are happening on Google still. But zero click is happening where people are not just going there and then clicking to the top result. They're going there, looking at the Google business profile, looking at the generative AI that Google is saying, hey, work with this company. So that's the first piece, is that you have to position your company to be shown in search. The second piece is in the process side of things. So when we look at
Hmm.
automation, AI call centers, AI CSR, customer service representatives, AI texting platforms, AI scheduling, these are all processes that home service businesses are going to have to be implementing in their business. And so it's all encompassing of what we do and how we can support companies. I'll give you one other super tip here for anyone that's listening, even if you're not in home service or whatever. Every single call that you do, whether it's online, a voice call, in-person sales call, you should be recording that call. Then you take the recording and you plug it into ChatGPT and say, based off of this transcript, give me 10 hooks or 10 social media topics that I should be talking about. Because now you're going to get the content that your customers are asking about, and you're going to get the actual things to be creating online. It's not just fluff things that ChatGPT is telling you, it's really what your customers are asking. In the home service space, we get the call recordings from all of our clients. We take the call recordings and then we train ChatGPT on our clients. And then we create content off of what their customer service representatives are telling their customers. So it's a full, flywheel of content. It's not just generic things that's out there.
That's absolutely genius. Okay, that's $2 million he's put out there for you guys, audience. I hope you're listening and taking notes. I just did because I'm going to borrow that. I almost said steal.
There you go.
What's so rewarding in the consulting you do?
Yeah, so like we have a company right now. He found me on a podcast. We started working with him about a year ago. And when I met with him, he's like, "Hey, I'm paying this SEO company, the cookie cutter type stuff, and I'm frustrated because I'm not seeing the results that I want." Fast forward 1 year, in April last month, he was up 3x in revenue. He had done 80,000, now he did 240. He is literally saying, like, oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. He's sending the consultant on our team. He's in Philadelphia, like a package, like with Wawa and Philly love stuff, just like for Christmas. And it's just like my team members on our team, they're making more than they ever thought that they would make with a great culture and a great flexibility in their schedule. Our customers are growing 2x, 3x revenue. It's like, what else could I be asking for? And then I get to go on podcasts like this and share, strategies to help companies grow. It's like, it's just so rewarding to help people, because when you actually help people, everyone wins.
An audience, real quick. Now I know, Phil, he's sharing this because people will go to me, well, you're successful, Steve. Of course you're going to share it. You were doing it before you were successful, correct?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been making content for probably 10 years now, helping people. And like a big unlock for me was I would get one view or 10 views. And when I started thinking about, okay, if I was to go to every week, I create a YouTube video and I get 10 views. Okay, if I were to go to somewhere and have 10 people show up to listen to me speak for an hour or 30 minutes, that's pretty valuable. So just because I get 10 views on a video, okay, who cares? It's basically that exact situation. And so even if it's one person that you can help, people would want that. So yeah, I don't get too much into the volume game. It's just about putting out good content that's going to help people.
Yeah. That's a huge servant heart. You got a huge
Yeah.
servant's heart.
Yeah.
It's evident. Relationships now, easy to build, like this story you just told us, 80 to 240. Yeah, you built a relationship, and that's one way to build a relationship. But what's another way with clients, with your business? How do you build? Because it's important.
Yeah, and for me, my background was at enterprise, which is like in person. I'm really, I get excited, I get fired up. I'm good at building the culture internally. But now we have a remote team. We have 13 people all over the world. We have clients that are all over the country and one in Canada, and they're all over the place. So how do we build that relationship? And what I found is that one, for our clients in particular, it's about having amazing communication. So like our team is a call, text, or email away. It's not just like email support at, which was one of my frustrations. It's like you have a real person that you can reach out to. Second is having a monthly meeting that is a deep dive. It's not just fluff metrics. It's an actual working on the business meeting. And then on top of that, it's having full transparency of reporting. So the relationship piece of using their data to make decisions, it shows that we are part of the actual team. And I'll give you one other secret one. We don't refer to you guys or y'all or you or this or that. It's we. Every single communication piece that we have with a business is, hey, Steve, our numbers are looking good here. I really think that we need to update our website over here, and we need to focus a lot on this. How can we support the team with this? It's we's and ours. It's buy-in and teammate. It's not, hey, you guys really need to focus on getting more Google reviews. It's like, how can we support you to help with this? That's how we've gone about building these relationships.
Culture. Your team's taken care of, like you said. Of course, money's going to do that. But before you didn't have money, you had to start at zero somewhere.
Yeah.
But you built this beautiful culture of we, ours. Audience, write that down. We, ours is a verbiage you should be using with your clients, also with your team, everybody across the board. It's not Phil, it's not Steve, because they could care less. To be completely honest, they care about like this guy 80 to 200, the value brought him.
Yeah.
Now he's bringing you gifts and all that extra stuff. Here's a question I have that I get asked a lot: data and creativity. How do you merge those to do it correctly?
Yeah. So going back to what I said about the data piece is the creative part is easy to do. Someone can make something look nice, but it's about
Yeah.
what should you be talking about or making, that is the stifling piece. And a lot of people just default to, let me go ask ChatGPT what I should make for January. That is okay, but it's not the creative piece that you want. The creative piece is getting your data from your business and analyzing it using ChatGPT to make decisions, and then taking it a step further and doing the creative off of that. So a perfect example is like, we do email newsletters, social content, blog content, newsletters in particular. Instead of just guessing what to do, we create a content calendar every single month of what we should be talking about in the business. So if it's like gutter cleaning, we talk about different things every single month. So we have a theme. Then we go to their calls and we plug them into ChatGPT, all the calls, and we say, cool, what should we be talking about based off of what their customers are asking? Then now we have the overall theme of what we should be talking about. Then we can go to creative and create the next layer to it. So I think The biggest hiccup most people get in is they just default to ChatGPT, asking generic questions, getting generic results, and everyone's doing the same thing. There needs to be a layer of using your data to make the actual creative. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, thank you for sharing the gutter company, because that's a perfect example. Everybody can figure that out. Well, what are those? Because I'm a roofer, it's going to be different than gutter. Yeah, we're connected somehow, but it's different if you do different things. This is just genius. Audience, we're blessed today. Last quick question. We're coming to the end here. Is what's the future of Flash Consulting look like? You guys are successful, but what's the goals in the next few years?
Yeah, so I mean, right now we're scaling up. We're bringing on new clients. We have about probably 15 or 20 slots that we can fulfill with our current team for this year. So that's a goal for us. Also layering AI. We didn't even get too far into the depths of it, but like training AI agents and my GPTs on our clients and processes and leveraging as much as possible using their CRM data. I think there's a ton of opportunity there that most digital marketing companies are not leaning into. They're using the superficial type stuff. And so there's tons and tons of opportunity there. We're also launching a course and community with a Flash GPT. So we have this GPT that's been trained on me and all the content that we've created and all of our SOPs and processes that home service businesses can now access and ask any questions and processes too. So there's a lot of cool things that we have coming down the pike, but overall it's just helping people and finding, where we can add value.
Yeah, that's the key word. What a way to end the show. Let's have a fun question. I want to get to know you a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I've got a reservation at a restaurant for you, table of 4. You have 3 empty chairs, obviously. Who are you going to invite, whether they're dead or alive, and what food would you be ordering?
Yeah, so the people I would invite first is my guy, Dave Ramsey. He's had a big impact on my life from paying off debt and just living a debt-free lifestyle, a debt-free business at that. Next guy I would say is Dan Martell. He has a great book called Buy Back Your Time. If you have not read this book, it's basically changed the trajectory of my business and my life. So Buy Back Your Time, awesome book and a really good guy. One other guy I got on there
One more person.
on my reservation. Oh man. Okay. There's a couple people. I would say Robert Kiyosaki because I would love to have Dave Ramsey and Robert Kiyosaki at a table and talking to them because they have polar opposite ideas on things. And Robert Kiyosaki at that Rich Dad Poor Dad, I mentioned that in one of the books. I've read all his books. Both of those guys have made significant impacts on my life, and I would love to have a conversation with all those guys. As far as ordering dinner, maybe just like a good old steak or something. Nothing too fancy.
Love it. Steak and potatoes. Can't go wrong with that ever, unless it's cooked wrong.
Yeah.
Well, Phil, I just met you today, but audience, this guy's blessed. He's blessing people every day, coming on podcast. I know people want to reach out to you, Phil. How can they find you and learn about the workshop you just mentioned?
Yeah, so if you are a home service business owner, you can go to our website, flashconsulting.com, PHLASH consulting, and click discuss your business. You can set up a time there. If you're just like, hey, this guy seems like a cool dude, I hang out on LinkedIn, Instagram, Phil Risher, and you can check me out there, DM me, set up some time to talk. I'm happy to just be a resource. It's fun for me. So those are the best ways.
Brother from another mother. I know audience goes crazy when I say that, but it's same way. How I can help you is just let me know.
Yep.
Thank you again, Phil. Thanks for taking the time being on the show and being such a great guest. I really appreciate it. And audience, here's a perfect example why podcasts are gifts. People are like, what are you talking about? Well, this link for this podcast with Phil, if you're a trade, well, you're going to listen to it again. But here's even powerful why it's a gift. Your cousin, your family member, your friend has a trade or a service business and like struggling. Man, I just listened to this guy, Phil, and send him the link and let him listen for 10 minutes. I guarantee you they're going to want to reach out or be part of the workshop, whatever. And they do, or just something on the show today changes their business. We're starting again, impact and difference. You've made that impact. So subscribe to the YouTube channel or any podcast you love and take those links and make them gifts to change people's lives. With that being said, me and Phil want to thank everybody for watching and listening to this podcast. And we'll see you all on the next episode of Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. Have a great day, everyone.